I did not plan to record her. There was no setup, no lights, no script, no special music in the background. Just her, laughing, talking, being herself. She sat at the edge of the couch, telling some story I have already forgotten. Not because it was not worth hearing, but because I was too focused on the way she moved when she spoke, her hands, her eyes, her laugh. I hit record without thinking, just one quick tap of a button. She did not notice, she did not pause, she did not change. And later that night, when the house was quiet and the world had slowed, I watched the video. No edits, no effects, just her voice, her face, her everything. And in that moment, something clicked, or maybe something settled. Because I knew she owns my heart now. It was not a movie scene. There was no perfect lighting, no soft music rising in the background. It was just her existing naturally, freely. And me, completely gone. I had been careful before, telling myself to slow down, convincing myself not to fall too fast. But love like this, it does not care about timing, it just shows up, soft and sure. And when it does, you know, I started to see it in the little things. How I shared more than I mean to. Stories I never told anyone. Fears I used to carry alone. Memories I kept locked deep. And somehow she held them. Not like they were heavy, but like they were mine. Like she wanted to understand, not to fix, just to stay. And stay, she did. I kept the clip, not to post, not to share, not for anyone else. I kept it because it reminded me what love looks like when it's real. Not dressed up, not practiced, not perfect. Just her, in her laugh, in the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, in the way she did not even know she was beautiful. One night, a few days later, we were in the kitchen, lights dim, leftovers still warm, her legs tucked under her like always, comfortable, soft. I recorded you yesterday, I said. She looked up, curious, half smiling. Oh, doing what? I pulled out my phone, pressed play, turned the screen to her. She watched quietly, head titled, studying herself like she was trying to see what I was saw. When it ended, she did not speak right away. Then softly she asked, "Why did you keep it?" And I answered without a pause, because it reminded me why I feel safe here, why I stopped looking anywhere else, why I'm not confused anymore. She looked down at her hands like she was not used to love that did not ask her to perform. Then she whispered, "You really see me like that?" I nodded, "Yeah." And honestly, I don't think I have ever seen anyone the way I see you. She did not cry. She did not smile big. She just reached for my hand quietly, like she believed it, maybe for the first time. We did not talk about the video again for a while, not because it did not matter, but because it already said everything. It had opened something we did not want to crowd with too many words. But I noticed the shift. She leaned in closer, held hugs longer, laughed from her chest instead of her throat. She started letting me see the parts that were not always bright. The tired parts, the unsure parts, the ones that asked, "Will you still want me like this?" And I held those parts just as tightly. Because love is not just for the good days. One night we had a fight, not a big one, just one of those moments where words come out wrong, where silence feels heavier than it should. She got quiet. I could see her folding in like she was about to leave, not because she wanted to, but because that's what she was used to. I did not raise my voice. I did not beg. I opened my phone, found the clip, held it out to her. She watched it again, like it was the first time. When it ended, she whispered, "You still have this?" I nodded. I never stopped watching it. Every time I forget how lucky I am, I watch this and remember. She looked at me, eyes full of ache and disbelief. And for a second, I think she saw it. Not the video, us. All of it, the love, the effort, the staying. Later, we were driving. She had her knees up in the seat, playlist low, quiet between us. She asked, "Why me?" I pulled over, not because I had to, but because she deserved more than a distracted answer. I looked at her, really looked, and I said, "Because no one's ever made me feel like home before. Because I can be loud, quiet, hopeful, broken, and you stay." She did not speak. She just looked at me with that same look I saw in the clip, soft, present, real. She does not know how she changed me. She took a man who did not trust love and made him believe again. Not with grand gestures, not with big words, but with small things, everyday things. She never asked me to prove anything. She just showed up fully, softly, like someone who knew that real love is not loud, it's steady. One evening, she stayed over, wearing my oversized shirts, barefoot, hair messy from the shower, making tea in the kitchen like she belonged there. I stood in the hallway just watching, and I hit record again. Not to post, not to share, just to remember. She looked up, laughed. "What are you doing?" I walked over, kissed her temple, and said, "Just saving proof." Of what? She asked. Of the moment I realized you are not just the woman in that clip, you are the woman I want in everyone. Her eyes softened, not because she needed the video, but because someone finally looked at her like she was not temporary. We had more quiet nights since then, more ordinary days. Love does not always feel like fireworks. Sometimes it's dishes in the sink, or her head on my chest, half asleep, while we watch the same show for the third time. but it always feel like her, and that's enough. She still has doubts sometimes. She still asks, "Are you sure you want this?" And every time I remind her, not just with words, with actions, with presence, with patience. Because when you have been taught that love leaves, you need someone to stay long enough to prove that it would not. And I stay every day because she is worth every second. Love is not perfect. We still get things wrong. We still misunderstand, still get tired, still need space sometimes. But we come back. We always come back. And every time we do, it's stronger. Because it's real, because it's chosen, because it's ours. That clip, the first one, it changed everything. It caught love in its softest moment, when no one was trying, when no one was pretending. And maybe that's why I keep watching it, not just to remember when I fell, but to remember what kind of love we have built. The kind that stays, the kind that grows, the kind that feels like home. So, yes, the woman in that clip, she still owns my heart. But now she knows it completely, fully, forever.